Good evening, everyone. So, after 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks, or maybe a little more than that, yeah, here once again to make another video on the greatest scripture of mankind. I would say greatest scripture, but people may vary with me, of mankind, that's Bhagavad Gita. So, today I'll be expressing my views, my opinions, my interpretations on chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. Previously, I have expressed my interpretations on chapter 6, chapter 5, chapter 4, chapter 3, chapter 2. Chapter 1 I haven't done because it's more of a discourse where Arjuna would ask Krishna to take him in the middle of the battlefield, and there some dialogues would happen. Probably everyone can understand it. It's very unambiguous, so everyone can do that. So I've started from chapter 2 to express my interpretations, my understanding of this great scripture. Now, here, chapter 7 is a bit different. How it's different? Chapter 7 is a bit different because here Krishna would be telling Arjuna about his own potencies, probably would share himself, what he is, what to his favorite disciple come friend Arjuna. Like he would be saying that like I am Om, and I am say taste of water. So all these things he would be saying. So that's like Lord himself expressing himself to his favorite disciple, come friend, come cousin, so whatever it is, to Arjuna, his favorite person at that moment. Probably he's more favorite than his own uh, close relatives. So that's why he would be disseminating this knowledge to him. So it starts in a very different tone where Krishna would say that if your mind is fixed on me, and you are in yoga, in a state of yoga where the mind fixed on me, I will share you how to reach me, how to know me without a doubt. That's how the chapter starts. And after that, he goes on talking about himself, his manifestations, like that, his material manifestations, his spiritual manifestations. Now, here there is a bit, there are various discourses, various interpretations. The non-dualistic school of thoughts have their own interpretation. Like it's like when Krishna says that I am the light of sun and moon. He would say that he's the light of sun and moon because light of sun and moon and sun are different. So it's like the clay and pot. The pot made of clay. So the pot made of clay and the clay, these are not different. One is just unmanifested state, and there is the manifested state. But it's just clay that matters. So it's like the spirit that matters. He can be projected in any form, but it's the main universal spirit, the one and only spirit that exists. So that matters. It's like the projection of oneself. That's what the non-dualistic school of thought say. Again, there are other schools of thoughts, dualistic school of thoughts. He would say now that the chapter starts with a very unequivocal statement of Lord Krishna. He says that you can know him if your mind is fixed on me, fixed on Lord consciousness. Now, non-dualistic school of thoughts, the people from non-dualistic school of thoughts, they would be saying that it's the self, mind focused on self. Then, if the mind is focused on self, probably Krishna would be guiding him how to be self-realized. It's more about self-realization. Now, these are different paths. Now, what's important is to understand Krishna or to realize self. One has to cleanse one's mind. When the reflection of the self is clear, or when the reflection of the super soul residing in our soul is clear in this lake of mind, devoid of any impurities and mud, probably the right reflection would be there, and we would be knowing us very well. And since the super soul resides in the self, so even super soul would get reflected. That's how we know what is what is the absolute, because Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that he resides in every heart as a super soul, as the soul. So that way also, so that these are the this is the interpretation of the non-dualistic school, Advaita Vedanta. So that's how it says. Now, dualistic school says, please don't, let's not get into this philosophical discourse. It's clearly unambiguous and clear, unequivocal, that uh, Krishna would be helping if the mind is fixed on Krishna. So it's more or less Krishna consciousness. If the mind is in a state of Krishna consciousness, this is the highest state as per Achintya Bheda school of thoughts. Probably the ISKCON follows that, the disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Krishna consciousness is the highest state. So if one is in Krishna consciousness, Krishna would be helping him to know himself. Though he has said, it's clearly written what he is. Probably he also says that many people strive to know him, but not many know him. Now here, this dualistic people believe in dualistic philosophy. They would say that, yeah, Krishna says that it's by the mercy of Lord you get illuminated with the knowledge of absolute. If there is no mercy of Lord, how can you get illuminated with the knowledge of absolute? So it's important to be in Krishna consciousness, drink deep into Krishna consciousness, so that you get illuminated with the real nature of absolute. That's what the dualistic people say. If not just the dualistic people, even the qualified non-dualistic people would be saying in similar terms. However, non-dualistic school of thoughts, this non-dualistic people would be saying, schools would be saying in a differently. He says that Krishna wanted to say that mind should be focused on self. One's mind should take the command of the self. As self doesn't command, its existence, its consciousness and bliss. So what would command? Probably mind and the intellect. Mind should feel the feelings of what heart should feel, that existence, should feel that consciousness and bliss, and then try to read Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna would be saying that whatever understanding they get, it would be akin to like self-realization, which is the ultimate goal, purification of mind. And if the mind is not purified, that's what we have learned in the previous chapters, that self cannot have its perfect reflection on the water of the, if the mind symbolizes this water, if the water symbolizes the mind, so there won't be any perfect reflection. So that's how it all starts with cleansing of mind. So that's how these kinds of practices, the Raj Yoga, Raj Yoga, Gyan Yoga. So every path deals with just cleansing of mind. Even through prayer, when we cry to God, our mind gets cleansed of the impurities, of the bad karmas that we perform. That inner purgation is purgation of emotions. These are very important. Now, moving on, Krishna would be saying that many people would love to know me, but not many people know me, because they haven't worked hard, or maybe the Krishna didn't want. But Krishna doesn't do any partiality. It is also said. So probably the effort wasn't that much. That's how, especially Advaita school of thoughts would be saying, the effort wasn't that much. Probably they haven't done with the right knowledge, so that's why they couldn't realize the self. And Krishna is the self. Even Shankaracharya said that Krishna is the self. He should be the object of worship, primary object of worship, because Lord Narayana. So that's almost every school of thought would agree to the fact that one should worship Lord, and after that be self-realized, or after that get God, or maybe go to Vaikuntha and serve Lord. So these are various interpretations of the pristine idea that it's about self. It's like cleansing the mind and feeling the bliss within, existence, consciousness, bliss. When we realize that soul is nothing but this existence, consciousness and bliss, we get illuminated. but consistent efforts are needed, practice is needed. Without practice, probably practice of meditation as well as dispassion. Now, meditation probably would give us a calmer mind, and if dispassion is not practiced, probably we after being calm and composed, maybe we might go into that part that distracts us. The stimulus and stimuli, these are things that we should have control over. So mind should be like an ocean. It's written in chapter 2 that one verse, apuriyamanam machala patishtham samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve tashantim apnoti na kama kami. So it's like our mind should be like an ocean which is ready to take any impulse and without reacting and without any reaction. So various rivers enter, various streams enter oceans. The ocean is unmoved by that. So various impulse can enter us. Stimulus can there could be various stimulus involved, but stimulus involved. So we shouldn't be moved by that. Impulses would come, various external impulses, internal impulses. So that would try to distract the mind, but mind shouldn't be moved by that. Mind should be more or less like an ocean, unmoved by anything external or internal. So we should have control over our own mind also. So there are many certain stimuli may stem up from even subconscious mind, maybe due to the dormant impressions there. Uh, it's mainly because we have moved on through many past lives where we have interacted with so many people, done so many things. So that is also there. So mind should be able to control both the external stimulus and the internal stimulus. So that's how things happen. At the same time, our soul and our mind should be perfectly situated in self, probably, and illuminate itself with its own light. And that's how mind is controlled. That's how self-control happens. Self-control is nothing but mind control. Now, if the mind is in this state and we want to know the absolute, Krishna shows us the way. Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita Chapter 7 what it is. Now he says that various people would want to know him, and not many know him. Some people know him, but it's all with disciplined efforts. People can know him, but some people do know him. But the self is similar for everybody, so why not us know him? So this is there. Now he moves on to explain his various energies. He moves on to explain what is phenomena, what is there beyond phenomena, the spirit world, numinous things, phenomena and numinous things. So he moves on to say that he has his material energies, and these are nothing but like air, water, fire, yeah, earth, ether, mind, intellect, and false ego. These are his primary material energies. So everything happens with the interaction of this material. Everything material happens with the interaction of these material energies. It's not confined to the material energies. Only materialists would say that everything is confined to Krishna's material energies. There is nothing beyond matter. So whatever we can see or perceive, it's within the matter. But consciousness is consciousness, a material thing. Then it's not a reaction of. It's not an output of chemical reaction. So the consciousness is something beyond material. Now let's come. Now he says that there is also something beyond the material energy. There's the spiritual energy, the individual souls. He talks about the individual jivas. Like I have an individual soul. My relatives, my friends, all have each individual soul. So that individual soul is beyond matter because it's never born and it will never die. Now, again non-dualistic, coming to non-dualistic interpretation, the non-dualistic school of thoughts would be saying that this individual souls do not exist. There is only one universal soul, and everything, this mind, it forms of human nature and animal nature and plant nature is all about one projection. It's all about a dream. It could be a dream as well. So these things do not exist. And even Buddhism says that these are all relative existence, because these are true but relative existence. Even Achinta Bhedaveda would say that these are true things but not permanent existence. These are relative existence. Everything which is material is not permanent, it's temporary. It keeps on changing relative to time, place, causation. So it would change. Now says something also beyond this material nature. This nature is a spiritual nature. And yeah, I said this individual souls, various individual souls are there. At non-dualistic school of thoughts would be say there is no individual soul, there is only one universal soul. Again, there is qualitative non-dualism would say that there are individual souls, but all the individual souls are alike. There is no, God doesn't make any discrimination amongst the individual souls. They are alike in quality. Now here comes Achinta Bhedaveda, which would say that individual souls and universal souls, they are both alike and different. So how is it possible that individual soul and the souls of the living beings and the universal soul, one that is Lord, these are both similar and also different? How is it so? They would say that qualitatively, probably the individual souls and the universal soul, these are similar, but quantitatively these are different, because this omnipotence and omnipresence is there in this universal soul, but which is lacking in individual souls. But they are unborn, they would and they would never die. But at the same time, these souls enjoy things. Means these souls do not experience anything. It's just nature is being enjoyed and the spirit enjoys, but they don't do anything. It's like existing consciousness. It's the material nature that works. We get there are bindings in this material whirlpool. It's because of the material nature. The spirit doesn't get bound or something like that. It's uncontaminated spirit. It's just existence. It's just consciousness. It's just planes. It's a light within that illuminates the entire body. And when we're introspective and focused towards our inner self, probably we are more content. More when we focus on the inner self, we can also focus on the external universal spirit. That God is the perfect manifestation of the unmanifested absolute. What you would say, as per the non-dualistic school of thoughts. Now its manifestation is because of probably something like Maya, they would be saying, but that doesn't mean that God is under the influence of Maya. It's not the fact. Probably dualistic school of thoughts have criticized them, that they want some non-dualistic scholars would be say that God is under the influence of Maya, so which is a blasphemy. So that's not the case. God is never under the influence of Maya. God creates Maya. That's what Achinta Bhedaveda says, that God creates Maya. These material energies are because these are material because Maya is involved, and these are relative existence. This keeps its forms keep on changing. Like the clay becomes a pot, pot becomes a clay, again it becomes a pot. So that's how it happens. These material energies, the spiritual energies, is like absolute consciousness. This what is individual consciousness. Our self could be also is akin to the individual consciousness. Individual consciousness is something not material. So mind is matter. Even mind is material. Even the intellect is material, but the consciousness within, that's not material. That's something numinous. And all the schools of thoughts probably agree to it, that consciousness is not material. Even the individual soul is not material. But it could be there could be dualistic duality between individual soul and the universal soul, but none of them are material. These are beyond matter. Now, how we realize that? We realize that when we are either focused towards ourselves, we don't think too much about the matter, we are spiritual, or we are focused towards our chosen deity, or we are focused towards Krishna himself. Here Krishna says that when someone's mind is fixed towards me, and he wants to be self-realized, or realized about uh, my knowledge. So, but the primary criteria is that one should be focused. One cannot be attached to material things, like distracted crave. So in previous chapters also we have seen that one shouldn't crave too much. Even Karma Yoga says that one should walk without craving for the fruit, because it may come to us, but it may not come to us. But that doesn't stop us from involving in inaction. That we should be walking persistently without thinking about the fruits, because why we are walking. We are walking to purify our mind, to cleanse our mind. That's the purpose of walking. And now again, Krishna goes on to say that what he is, how he is manifested. He says that even now that we said that the sun and sunlight thing. Here Krishna is a bit different. So he would say that he is the light of sun and moon. So now imagine without light. So moon takes light from the sun. That's a thing. But here it's written. Let's imagine if sun and moon are there, but there is no light. Just like we are there, and we don't have any consciousness. So how would it be? He goes on to say that he is not but the sacred syllable Om. So Om is more akin to this non-dualistic school of thoughts. Probably Upanishads and Vedas, we see this Om mantra being used. Probably when we chant this Om, we cleanse our mind. There's a vibration, universal vibration. So this is, I am none but Om. He would be saying. He would be saying that if an intelligent person is there, then what is his intelligence? An intelligent person devoid of intelligence. Just imagine how his intelligence would work. So he says that I am the intelligence in the intelligent person. I am the prowess of the powerful. That's what they say. So if a powerful person is there, and if that power is not there, so he's like say fuel in a car. Suppose the car is moving, the car cannot move without the fuel. So sun cannot shine without its light. He says that he is from the taste of water, the fragrance of earth. And he also further states that he is also the desire, which is not contrary to scriptural directions, or which is not contrary to ethics. So what is ethics? Where there is justice, there is ethics. Where injustice is there, probably we lose out on the ethical part. So he is also the desire that is not contrary to religious or scriptural injunctions, or things like that. So he is everything. So without desire also we cannot progress. So is that desire which is accepted form of desire, not unacceptable form of desire, which is within the framework, which doesn't create injustice, doesn't violate. So that desire. So he's everything. So without his energy we cannot do a single thing. So that's what he intends to say here. Again, he further elaborates what's the material type of people. The gunas, the three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva guna is like goodness, rajas is like passion, and tamas is like ignorance, or maybe sleepy nature. That's his tamas probably, who doesn't want to walk. So he says that even the human beings, the living entities, are unbound by this sattva, rajas and tamas, is the material nature within. So made up of this 8 forms of energies, like air, water, fire, air, ether, then earth, intelligence, mind, ego, So these things, these material energies, sattva, rajas, and tamas. So if goodness is more predominant, that person is more swatik, we can be sattvic. So rajasic, if passion is predominant, again is ignorance is predominant. That person keeps on sleeping all the time, probably does no work, lazy, indolent. These people are tamasic people. Rajasic people, probably these people would be ambitious ones, and ready to do anything for that. Even his probably these people uh, suffer from anxiety. These Rajasic people. So then that's not written in Bhagavad Gita that the Rajasic people suffer from anxiety. But what means maybe some other chapter there are hints towards it, but here it's not written. Rajasic people characteristics. It's not given in details. Later it will be given in details. Now, but Lord is beyond these three gunas. One shouldn't conceive Lord Krishna as sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. He can be all, he can be none, but he is beyond that. He's transformed. Transformed means he's already beyond, because he has created these gunas. These gunas have been created out of Maya. So Maya has different kind of interpretations in dualistic school, non-dualistic school, qualified non-dualistic school. And there have been debates for centuries before, and still it's going on. They criticize this school. Probably dualistic school would be criticizing non-dualistic school and call them Mayavadi. Mayavadi would be saying that your worship is not the right kind of worship, contrary to teachings of Upanishads. You don't follow the Upanishads, you just Smriti and Shruti, so all those things will come. So that's a different thing. So it's my interpretations. I am not biased towards this or towards that. I just express my views clearly about it. Now, he says that we are means human being can be categorized in three gunas, this material people. So Lord is beyond that. Now there would be people that who would believe that Krishna as a manifested entity of an unmanifested entity, manifestation of an unmanifested entity. So without knowing the real glory of the Supreme Lord. So it's just a manifestation of unmanifested entity. So there are people ignorant people would be thinking like that. Now why he is ignorant? Because he hasn't taken the help of the Lord, or he isn't self-realized enough to beat Maya. So he is under the control of Maya. How can we go above the control of Maya? How can we beat the Maya and probably see the Lord? Maya is nothing but a curtain. We just have to remove the curtain, or maybe just cut the curtain and see the real Lord. So how can we remove that veil from our eyes, the veil of Maya? The Maya is nothing, the veil in our eyes, where we cannot, where we are blindfolded. We do not see what is to be seen. That's there. This Maya is there. Now, what various kinds of people do through Maya? Even some people may have surpassed Maya. Maybe not everyone can surpass Maya, but some people do have. So here he would be talking about the people who would seek the help of Lord, maybe Krishna conscious, maybe self-conscious, maybe God conscious, whatever it is, but they tend to control the Maya to an extent, and with the help of the Lord. It's better to be dualistic at this point, because Lord helps that person to get rid of Maya. And there are people who do not seek Lord's help to control Maya and know the reality. Probably these people would never surrender unto him. Who are these people? These people are these material people, these people who do evil, lowly human beings doing evil deeds. They don't surrender to Lord, not Lord's, Lord. So based on their tendencies, they worship, some of them worship other deities also. Now this is a different part. Now who are the people who surrender to Lord? Surrender to Lord. There are four kinds of people. It is said the distressed one. So suppose I am distressed in my life, I'm frustrated, I'm not getting anything, so probably I would worship Lord. So Lord, please help me to come out of this situation. I'm a lowly human being, so I need your help just to um be just to survive, just so that this distress is no more there, to lead a normal life. The distressed people are there. Now, seekers of knowledge. So there would be people who would worship God just to get money. I would worship God as if God is there to give that person money, and it is such a small thing that He has time for each and everyone's desire for money. So they would think, but God ultimately gives them. So that's what Krishna says, that I deliver to them whatever they desire, whatever they even they worship various demigods, and now that Lord is Himself is situated in the super soul in each one's heart. Probably He makes their faith more steady towards that demigod or maybe other devtas. I won't use the term demigod. It's being used by one school of thought. So I would other devtas and all this thing, other gods. So he would make their faith very steady, and whatever they would receive from those gods probably is being given by the permission of the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. So that's what he would say. So these seekers of money, wealth, so they surrender to Lord just to become richer. Now this then inquisitive people probably who would love to know Lord. This with philosophical speculations, the inquisitive people they also surrender to Lord so that they can know Lord. And the people in knowledge, these are the people who surrender to Lord, and out of them Lord clearly states that people in knowledge are more dear to Him, because He resides in them, and because they reside in Him. Yeah, so that's why, because they are always with the Lord consciousness. Knowledge, people with knowledge, they are in the right consciousness of the Lord. So so they are more dear, and they are more entitled to know Lord, and maybe to be free from the cycle of birth and death, because they are very close to Him, because the knowledge of Lord reside in their head, their mind, intellect, and all the self, all the time, and it's being illuminated by that knowledge. So illuminated people, the people with right knowledge, definitely are more close to this divine vibes than people who are not. So clearly states that people with knowledge, they surrender to me, and I give them the right, and I give them, show them the right path by which they can come to me or know me. So people with knowledge, it could be any kind of knowledge. It could be the dualistic knowledge, non-dualistic knowledge. That's my interpretation. But dualistic school of thoughts would be saying there is the knowledge of the Krishna, probably his pastimes, probably his avatars. Yeah, so all these things, like whatever is written in Shrimad Bhagavad, knowledge of Shrimad Bhagavatam. So these are the people with right kind of knowledge, and the knowledge, through that knowledge they can reach God and they can know God. So that's it. So these are the main things that's written. Now there would be people who won't be surrendering, and would be feeling saying that just a manifestation of manifested state of manifestation of an unmanifested. So all sorts of people are there. Now the question is, which one is right? Which one is right means this dualistic interpretation or non-dualistic interpretation. Everything is subject to interpretation. One is thing is certain, that we should be self-realized. We should worship Lord. Now even the non-dualistic school of thought would be even Shankaracharya exhorted his disciples to worship Narayana, because through dualism non-duality comes. Because unless we worship someone, probably we internally we don't get cleansed. So meditation, this should be the object of meditation. Then only we can be free from these dualities of avarice and hatred. So that way it happens. So these were my interpretations, and then lastly he would be saying that one should know Lord as the governing principle of everything that is material, everything, everything that deals with the demigods, yeah, and everything dealing with sacrifice. So sacrifice is important because Bhagavad Gita in various chapters clearly states the purpose of sacrifice, because through sacrifice, even the karma yoga is a sacrifice. The sacrifice in fire and all these things, these are very important, because and the governing principle of such sacrifice is Lord himself. So that's what is written. That's what is written in Bhagavad Gita and various other scriptures. So, so what we get from here is that Lord is very merciful to those who have fixed their mind in His own consciousness, and probably, and He is ready to show them the way how to reach Him, how to know Him. Knowing Him probably will lead to reaching Him after the cycle of birth and death is complete. So that was my interpretation on chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. Let's hope that I do a video on chapter 8 too, if God wants. And obviously, I am sure that He would want me to do another video on chapter 8 too. So, get it. Thank you so much.